Do you know what really honks me off? Self-service tills. Someone please explain this to me. You end up in a queue that's even longer than normal. You have to scan the stuff. You don't get any money off actually being a member of staff because you're basically doing someone's job. And you end up having to wait longer if there's something wrong, because there's only one person handling those tills. Please make this make sense for me, because I can't. So, yes, sometimes it can be quicker because you don't get the half an hour of talking from the cashier. But like I said, sometimes you're waiting a long time because all the other tills are flashing up red as well. So the one person who's handling, in my local shop, about 10 or 12 tills is run off their feet. So where does any of this make sense? And like I said, you're doing someone out of a job and you're not getting any staff discount. So I've come up with an absolutely brilliant plan. What you should do is you should have a conveyor belt for all the people who are standing in line, so that they don't have to hold huge filled baskets full of shopping for longer. So you stick it on a conveyor belt, and then what you do is you have that conveyor belt moving closer to the till. And then what you do is you have one person per till, so that if there's any problems, it can be seen to straight away. Oh, hang on, that's what we used to have. It's called a fucking till point. And the justification for putting more of these fucking self-service till points is, oh, well, they are so popular. Let me tell you, I've not heard one person in a queue for one of those self-service tills saying, oh, I'm so glad there are more self-service tills. It's not true. They put some in, they axe a load of staff, and then because people are going to the self-service tills when they've only got a couple of items, they say, oh wow, they're so popular, we'll bung a few more in, axe a few more staff, until you end up with the situation I've already described, where you've got huge long fucking queues of people scanning their own fucking shopping and waiting for ages if there's a problem with the tills. And another problem is, in some shops there is a disparity between machines that take card and cash, or just card. So it's like they're trying to force us to get rid of money. Well, quite frankly, I want my money. It's easier to budget with, because you can see in your hand how much money you fucking got left. You can't do that if you're using a card. So you don't run up debts as much if you've got cash, and you don't run down your account if you've got a debit card. So you know, what the fuck? Why do we still keep having these things? And if you got rid of the self-service tills, went back to the usual type of tills, you'd have more people paying income tax, which is what the government is constantly fucking bitching about. Oh, there's so many people on benefits because they've got no jobs. Yeah, well, that's because you're replacing them with fucking automated tills. The only time I use a self-service till is when I know that the person on the regular till point is a chatter. And then if I've got a couple of items, I will run through the self-service till. And when I'm in Smith's, no, I'm not going to call it TG Jones, it's Smith's still. When I go to Smith's, I don't like the way they handle my magazines when they're scanning. So I will, wherever possible, use the self-service till, because I handle my magazines the way I want my magazines handled. But other than that, I want to stick with a manned till or a personed till, a staffed till, just to stop the complaints of, oh, it's, you know, saying manned is, oh, gender shit. Another subject for another time. But, you know, I want a fully staffed till, and I want them to be courteous, yes, but not spend half an hour talking to someone, because that's where everything slows up, especially if it's in the hot weather and you've got frozen food. Stop fucking talking, just say hello, how's your day been, end of conversation. And then there'd be more people in employment, more tax revenue, and fewer videos like this complaining about automated fucking tills. And don't get me started on the fact that the tills that do take money have problems digesting some of the notes or the coins. Is this another ploy to get rid of cash? I don't know. But they don't even take care of their machines to make sure that it's actually working correctly. So just get rid of the fucking tills, get more people in, because otherwise you're giving the government an excuse to make even more cuts, because their income tax revenue is down. Not that income tax pays for anything anyway. Government expenditure is not paid for by tax receipts. But that's the myth they decide to use, and that's the myth that we have to accept until we can get them to accept the truth. So, you want better employment, get rid of all the automated tills and all the automated cleaning machines as well. Because otherwise, you're just robbing people of jobs. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.